Okay, hi. Let's see, I just started up. I need a couple minutes to finish eating my lunch, so I'll put on a little music. And I guess hopefully I don't get sniped from orbit immediately, just for putting on semi-licensed stuff. I'll be back. Okay, here I am. You should be able to hear me now. You might hear me moving furniture around in the background. That's a thing I do periodically. Hopefully my voice is going through okay. OBS says it's fine, but I guess it's also possible the music might be too loud right now, but I did some tweaking before starting, and it should be okay, but I can turn it down a little. This is the Transistor soundtrack. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use background music, because, okay, music is quiet. I do want it to be a little quiet. How's that? All right. Hi, by the way. Nice to see you. I'm glad you were able to come by and give me some feedback. Because otherwise I wouldn't even know if I was properly live. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Transistor soundtrack. I was going back and forth on using some background music because I didn't, want to have to deal with copyright issues. And there's this thing where you can record different audio tracks, either on Twitch or through OBS, and it's something that I don't understand because I haven't really looked into it. But I decided to go with some video game music for now, and this isn't on shuffle, is it? It is. There we go. Okay. So I decided to go with Transistor music for now, just because it's nice to listen to, and it's hopefully not going to get me into copyright trouble. So all right. So I did some audio tests before getting started. I don't know how audible my voice is going to remain throughout this, partially because I'm very soft-spoken naturally. My voice just has a low volume, and it kind of drifts downward the longer I speak. I get quieter and quieter. And also sitting in front of my computer makes it a little bit more difficult to project my voice properly, but I'm not good at it to begin with, so that's fine. In the recordings I had, I sounded okay. I think you can hopefully make out whatever I'm currently saying. And, let's see. Okay, I want to talk about how I was feeling about starting streaming, because obviously this is not something I have done before. So I'm very, socially anxious. I probably have a pretty severe case of social anxiety disorder. I am very uncomfortable socializing generally, and as a result, I don't get a lot of social time and talking practice in particular. And that is something that I wanted to work on with, I guess I wanted to have some time to practice talking by myself in a way that I don't feel seen necessarily, because that is the part that makes me nervous, is being seen. The talking itself is fine. And streaming in general is something that I've been interested in lately for a couple different reasons. So obviously there's everyone needs to be a little social, and it's harder for me to do that than it is for the average person, I would say. You can tell I don't do this regularly because of how much I say but I think, what was I saying? I got sidetracked again, and I lost my train of thought. That's going to happen constantly. I have a mental monologue that is constantly running. I don't know if this is true for very many people, but I think at least some people do have the same thing going on. Whenever I'm thinking about anything, it's always in full sentences, but I get distracted so easily. I guess that's just the ADHD, but you know, on top of that, I'm obviously very nervous about this. Not that I have much reason to be, but I just have a nervous tendency, nervous personality. And hopefully I'll be able to relax a little bit over the course of this, but I won't be too surprised if I stay somewhat nervous the whole time. So, the few things that I wanted to touch on here, I want to talk about why I'm interested in streaming, potentially, what this specific stream is for, I guess, and how long it's going to be, and also if I'm going to, like, do anything, because I am probably going to, like, try and throw a game on or something like that a little bit later, but it depends on how long the stream goes, and I am not intending to go for a super long time here. So basically, I've watched a lot of streamers in the past, and lately I also got very enamored with VTubing and with, you know, a lot of different VTubers. And I think the artistic appeal of having an avatar coupled with the feeling of, you know, anonymity, I think that's what draws me towards the idea of VTubing itself. Now, it's expensive to get into VTubing. It's expensive and it's difficult. And, you know, I had this idea of maybe working on my own assets and eventually making my own model, but that is like a huge amount of work. And I am not a great artist currently. I mean, I've been casually interested in illustration and a lot of other artsy stuff since I was a kid, but it's not something that I've kept up with super well. I go through phases a little bit, but I've never really been good at practicing. And obviously, if you want to actually become good at something, you need to practice it a lot. So I was thinking about doing that at some point, maybe much further down the line, but obviously if I started, you know, making streaming a regular thing now, I wouldn't be doing stuff with that because I just don't have the assets available right now. So I guess this is how it's gonna be for a little while at least. So I should introduce myself, I suppose. I'm Tara, I guess. I don't usually go by this name very much, but it's a name that I have used in the past, and I like it a lot. It is not my real legal name, thank God. I will not be using that as my Twitch username. But about the username, I was actually very uncertain because up until now I have mostly used... well, over the last like 10 years or so at least, I've mostly used a different username, Spilderthin, which was kind of just like a gibberish name that was spit out of an automatic name generator in Star Wars The Old Republic. So it's not really like, I mean, it's unique, but it doesn't have a lot of personality in it, I think. And it's also a little bit hard to read at first glance. And I wanted something that was a little, like, I guess cuter, but also a little less esoteric. So a name and a word I thought would be pretty good, and I like the word teeter. I specifically like teetering because of in Super Smash Bros., when your character walks very close to a ledge, they go into a teetering animation, and that is specifically what I was basing it on, because I actually teeter a lot in real life. I am not the most stable walker, and I like to shift my weight around all the time, so I often end up standing on one foot, or like leaning over stuff, or just kind of meandering around in weird spots. And I think it's kind of fitting for me to be called Teeter Tara as a result. I do worry that it's maybe a little bit like the tearer. I do worry that it's maybe a little bit too cutesy and infantile, but it's probably fine. I don't know. I've seen worse. I think the important part is to just have it and start using it, and hopefully I'll be able to get used to it at least, and hopefully get comfortable being referred to online as some variations of that name. Because I never really, I never developed a super strong identity association with my old username because it was kind of just like a thing I picked sort of arbitrarily, and then it ended up taking over everything else that I did because I couldn't think of anything better. I don't know. I feel like, for me, the intent of a stream like this is to, I guess, have it be a little bit of a personal experience about me, because in my life, a lot of the time I just don't feel super comfortable talking about myself or, I don't know, going into details like that. And something that I wanted to do with streaming in particular is I wanted to try and see how it feels to actually just talk about things a lot, because I'm not a big talker. I don't talk that much in real life. I am not someone who holds conversations very well, and I also don't often try to, but I have a lot going on in my head, you know? And I've got the mental monologue that I mentioned earlier. It's sort of like I'm streaming to nobody in my head at all times. So I figured it might be something that I could start doing to see if I can get a little more comfortable becoming social, and also make my voice itself, like my vocal cords, more used to talking, because my the stamina of my throat that's not a great way to put it, but the stamina of my throat is not very good because I don't talk that much. And also I want to get mentally more comfortable, I guess, connecting threads of conversation and just kind of filling time by talking, because it's something that I feel like I'm not very good at. And it's something I feel like I've kind of always struggled a little bit with. The nice thing about having a stream like this is that, of course, it's intended to be focused on me, right? So I don't necessarily need to feel bad for talking about like whatever dumb bullshit jumps into my head, which is how I normally feel when I'm talking to someone offline. And as a result, I end up not voicing a lot of my thoughts. So this would be like a very big difference in that regard. Oh yeah, stream length. So for this initial stream, I will probably end up keeping it under an hour. I was originally thinking like, oh, I might go for 2 hours, but you know, as the date and time approached, I obviously got a little more nervous, and it's going to be a stressful experience for me. I think, well, I'm excited about it also, but it can be a little tiring to be stressed out for sure. And this kind of social stress is something that I have to deal with a lot, and usually I do not try to deal with it for very long. I'm hoping that I'll become much more comfortable over time, both in terms of like over the course of a single stream, and also if I end up streaming more often. I hope that I'll get more used to it, and hopefully at least be less nervous, even if I don't necessarily get any better at anything. Being good at it is not super important for me, I think. But there was something else I was going to say. Oh, God. I get sidetracked so easily. It's it's a real problem when, you know, I try to actually talk about something for an extended period of time. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about the starting soon screen that I have here. I know technically my stream is not starting soon. I am actively talking at the moment, but I wanted to stay on the starting soon screen because I don't have anything else set up, really. Basically, I wanted to make some temporary assets so that I could have something on the screen, and at the last minute I ended up adding a couple screenshots from Tumblr posts, and I'll probably add more things over time until it's almost incomprehensible. I just really like the "what's happening" Discord message. I think it represents things very well. So, I think today what I was planning on doing was talking for a while, at least initially. And obviously this is not something I'm used to, and I also don't really have anyone to, chip in or bounce off of, so this is not something I'm going to be able to do indefinitely, but I wanted to talk about various things, and I guess also discuss potential stream ideas for the future. Let me actually see. I'm going to make a... you guys might have lost the feed. No, it looks fine. I'm going to make a text document here. And let's see if I can add it as a source. Let's see. Window capture. All right. I think that's pretty good. Just gonna shrink it down a little. I can't cover that all-important post right there. Okay, so hopefully the text that I type here let's see how that looks. It's a little small, but it's probably fine. I might try doing something like this. That's the wrong way. Scroll up. I might try doing something like this to make it a little bit more readable. And I often do this. I just have like a notepad document open and just record some of my thoughts. And in particular, when I'm talking about a specific topic, I like to organize things that way. So in terms of potential stream ideas, obviously I'm new to this, so I don't know for sure what does and doesn't work well for me. That's something that I'm only going to be able to find out with time and trial and error, unfortunately. But I have seen a lot of other streamers on Twitch and YouTube and, VODs of old streams, etc. So I know vaguely what is and isn't appealing to most people, and I know within that what is and isn't appealing to me. And there we go. So I wanted to talk about ideas for potential future streams. So this includes basically like just a theme for the stream. So for example, if I'm going to be playing a specific game, that would be a stream idea, and I have several of those. But likely I'm going to sort of play it a little bit loose for the most part. I'm not taking this super seriously. It's mainly just to see how I feel about it, and assuming things go well and I do actually enjoy it for a while, maybe I'll keep doing it. Maybe I'll need more ideas in the future. I don't know. But it's also possible that I might walk away from this and say, this is too stressful. We'll see. I don't know. I feel nervous about like the stream going down. Just constantly worrying about it, just because well, you know, I'm not used to streaming, so this is something that I'm going to have to get used to some extent. Let me try cropping that a little differently. I want to make the window smaller for me and not on the stream. So let's do this and this. Whoa, that's fine. Okay, so let's do it this way. Yeah. Okay. I'm probably going to need to take time periodically just to calm down because I am very nervous all the time, and this the social stuff makes me very anxious as well. But I think usually it does get a little bit better the longer I am exposed to it, but it never goes away, unfortunately. And because, you know, this is my channel and I get to run things how I like, that means that I can take breaks whenever I want and just breathe and relax, and that's something that I don't always feel super comfortable doing, you know, in public because it's embarrassing. And also I don't like monopolizing conversations or anything like that. Anyway, stream ideas. So, there are a bunch of games that I have been thinking about playing on the stream. Most of them are new to me, or maybe like they have new stuff in them. So just as an example here, something that I am probably going to do within these early streams is, well, I don't know if I'll do it immediately, but we'll see. It was high on my list. I was thinking about playing Minecraft Hardcore, and the reason that I was thinking about it specifically in Hardcore is that I haven't really played much of anything in Hardcore. I play roguelikes and stuff, but in general, you know, I've played a fair amount of Minecraft a long time ago on older versions of the game. I think it's changed a fair bit since I was familiar with it, and I think I've picked up some information here and there about how things work, but there would definitely still be some new stuff, and I've never played it in Hardcore specifically, so I feel like that could be a somewhat novel experience for me. And I think Hardcore video games are just like, they're interesting to watch. You know, they have that the excitement factor. They have the risk that makes them a little more entertaining. And even though I often don't play them all that much, I often enjoy watching other people play them. So I wanted to include that on my list. I think it's a fairly safe bet. Although, to be clear, I'm not a very good gamer. So it's not like I'm gonna, you know, one-shot to the Ender Dragon or whatever. If I were playing something like this and I died, I would have to start over, and I would probably end up doing that many times, and I probably wouldn't, you know, finish the game, at least in a single sitting or whatever. But that's okay. I think that's part of the appeal, honestly. It's it seems interesting that way. So, I also had a few ideas for games that are actually fully new to me. Oh, and before I forget also, one thing that I've been playing a lot of the last few days is Risk of Rain 2, because, you know, it got updated pretty recently. I played like a huge amount of that game, and I kind of love and hate it. The way I play is maybe not super interesting for stream, and it's one of those games where it's a lot of sensory information, usually. And one thing that I am worried about is that I already get super overwhelmed when I'm playing a very complex game. You know, I can barely, like, think about other stuff, and trying to also, you know, keep up with a stream at the same time might be a little hard, but I have also played a lot of it, and I feel like it could be fun. the way I usually play most often is on the lower difficulties or with the artifacts that make the game easier. I think something about me is that I honestly just kind of like when games are easy. You know, I feel like a game that is reasonably easy is kind of a lost art in some ways, because a lot of games are so concerned with difficulty and being as hard as possible, and they have to put you through a gauntlet, and that's fun sometimes. You know, I like Dark Souls, I like getting over it, but I really don't want every game to be like that, and Risk of Rain 2 is, like, in my opinion, really hard, so I do usually play in ways that make the game easier, but I might change it up if I were to play it on stream. I don't know. I would probably pick whichever I think is more entertaining, which is to say probably not playing with Artifact of Command enabled, because I feel like that would be kind of boring. But I don't know. It is something that I really enjoy doing, so maybe I will end up doing it a little bit. I am trying to not be too concerned about metrics also. Discoverability and metrics of a stream. That's something that I'm not really... I mean, I'm not completely uninterested in it, right? Just from the fact that I'm streaming, there's... you can probably guess that I would like to get a successful stream going, right? And in particular, the idea of making money from streaming is like, it seems almost too good to be true, right? Especially for someone like me who generally struggles to do traditional work. I work as a crossing guard for the local school district, and the absolute most amount of time in a week that I will work is around 12 hours for the whole week, and that is still more than enough to exhaust me to the point that I basically can't get anything else done for days after. And it actually got to the point where I had to go to my boss and say, hey, I don't think I can do 5 days a week a lot of the time. I'm mainly a substitute, so thankfully I don't need to do that many days, but this past week on, it was American Thanksgiving this week, so Thursday and Friday were school holidays, but I had to cover Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and what is that? That's 7 and something hours, 7.5, whatever. It varies a little bit, but even just 3 days is like, on Thursday, I basically just did nothing. I just sat in front of my computer and was tired, and like kind of played Risk of Rain 2, but not very well. And it's frustrating to have to deal with a lot of fatigue, and that is something that affects me a lot because I have depression, and for me it manifests as a huge amount of fatigue often. At least I think that's the depression. Maybe I have something else going on. Who knows? I have thought about it before. But the idea of streaming professionally is, obviously very appealing to me as someone who is worried about long-term work prospects due to my own abilities. So it's a nice pipe dream. I am not expecting it to work out, really. Because, in order to be successful as a streamer, especially financially successful, you just need to be so lucky. And on top of luck, you need to create an environment where luck will find you, if that makes sense. And by that I mean marketing, basically. Marketing and networking. And those are things that I am not super interested in. I'm not totally unwilling to do a little bit of marketing, but it's not something that appeals to me, and I just do not like advertisements as well. That's like something I don't want to say morally opposed to, because that seems a little strong, but I think they're stupid. I think they're unappealing, and a lot of the time when I see something that's clearly an advertisement, even if it's for like a small streamer's channel or something like that, I'm like, oh, whatever. It doesn't appeal to me a lot of the time. But that doesn't mean it's impossible to succeed without doing that either. You can just get picked up by whatever algorithm. You can happen to draw the attention of someone very popular, etc. And there's also networking, which is something that I'm not interested in for different reasons. That one I think could be like fun, I guess, but the problem is that I do have to deal with the social anxiety. It's very bad, and it inhibits me a lot from doing a lot of interpersonal activities. So something like talking to other streamers and setting up collaborations even would be something that I would find very difficult and stressful. And, you know, a lot of people will tell you that's a big part of how you grow as a streamer. And I believe it, because they've been doing it for a lot longer than I have. So I don't really like expect my stream to do well, even if I do everything right, really, because in some ways I'm just sort of not fated to be a very successful streamer, I think, because it's such a social occupation, but that's okay. I think mainly what I'm doing it for right now is enjoyment and personal growth. So I think, well, we'll see how it goes. I do have, so I watch a couple streamers somewhat consistently, and one of them is a VTuber named Krelly, and one of my earliest streams from her that I watched, she was receiving a lot of donations and, you know, subscriptions and stuff like that. There was a big hype train going, and she was getting very emotional, and if you don't know her, she gets very emotional like every stream, basically, because she wears her heart on her sleeve, and she's very expressive. But I was thinking, you know, for her, that was such a big deal because she had moved out of living with her parents recently, and she was thinking, you know, this is probably not going to work out financially, but I want to try streaming full time. And then for a while it didn't, but then eventually she started making enough money off of it where she could actually continue to do it full time indefinitely. And I was just, I don't know, I guess you could say I was a little envious. I was projecting myself into that situation a little bit, and I was thinking, wow, you know, that would be really wonderful to be able to do something that you love and that brings you joy, and that I mean, she's really good at streaming, in my opinion. She's a very good talker. She can talk about anything. So something that she's good at, you know, and enjoys, she gets paid for it. And that type of thing sometimes seems very far away for me, unfortunately. Not just because of my own baggage, but also because the economy is in shambles, etc. Right? So the idea of making money off of it is very appealing, but I know better than to get my hopes up. Or at least I think I do, but I think I might be getting a little hopeful anyway. So anyway, I want to get back to talking about ideas for what to do on stream. So I was talking about new games, completely new games to me. So I've got a few games that I've seen because people were streaming them. I've got a few games that I've been meaning to play just in general. And some that I kind of just never got around to, but I think would, you know, be reasonably entertaining and fun to play on stream. So I was thinking, I've seen a lot of people play Peak, and I've never touched it. That's more of, I mean, you can play it solo, of course. I think most people associate it with more of a cooperative type of gameplay. It's multiplayer, so I don't know if that would be a good fit for me. I might enjoy it solo, who knows. I want to also play Hollow Knight Silksong. That obviously came out kind of recently. That's something that I have been looking forward to for a very long time. I played the original Hollow Knight, I don't know, years ago, maybe like 5 years ago or something. When did it come out? Like 2017? 2018? Whatever. I played it a little while after it came out, but before the final DLC, and I went back and did the DLC stuff as well. But not all of it. I didn't do Son of God Home. That was... the final DLC for Hollow Knight 1 was like... You think the game is easy? You've cleared all the content? Well, fuck you. So, that didn't seem like the type of thing for me, but I might end up going back and revisiting Hollow Knight at some point, and I want to play Silksong for the first time on stream, for sure, because it's... playing the first game was really fun, and it was a special experience, and also I did get lost several times. Maybe being on stream would help with getting lost. Maybe it would make it worse. Who knows? I tend to get lost in very open, exploration-focused games like that. But also, Silksong is... I have played a little bit of it. I played for about an hour, I think. The reason I stopped was actually not because I was deliberately saving it. It was because my controller was not working. I was getting stick drift really bad, so I had to stop, but I did end up doing a couple of bosses, so I think I should be able to get back to that point within an hour, and I would probably like start over from the beginning. And then from there, it's all basically blind. I mean, I've seen some spoilers, you know, but it's gonna basically all be new to me, and I think that'll be fun. Well, the game will be fun for me, at least. I don't know if it'll be fun to watch. A couple other games that I wanted to play for the first time. Let's see. I can go through these a little faster, because I don't have as much to say about them. Let's see. There was Mega Bonk. That was like... Mega Bonk. That was... well, it maybe still is like a very common stream game. It's kind of a breakout indie hit for the developer, I think. There's Octopath Traveler 1 and 2, which I like RPGs well enough. I never got around to Octopath Traveler because... Where's the ampersand? 7. Because, I don't know, it was just like... I guess because of them coming out late enough that I was mostly focused on other stuff at the time. But I want to try them out at some point, at least the first game. Obviously, if I think the first game is mid, then I would skip the second one, but you know, we'll see about that. And of course, with these game ideas, it's also very feasible that I'm just not going to like what I see, because I'm kind of picky. I have like slightly eccentric tastes, and the second one is actually better. Really? Okay. I might keep that in mind. Maybe if one is decent but not amazing, I might give 2 a shot anyway. Alright, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I have kind of esoteric tastes, and I'm very, like, when it comes to art, I am very shallow. I care a lot about aesthetics. I care about visuals, I care about audio, I care about music, and I'm kind of hard to please sometimes. So it's sort of like, when I get into a new game, there are a lot of things that can just subtly put me off and make me not enjoy it as much, but some of them also end up being like unexpected hits for me, because they're not things that I would necessarily expect to like. I'm trying to think of a good example for that. I don't know. I don't have any examples off the top of my head. I would have to look through my my game library at some point. But anyway, new games. Yes, I keep getting sidetracked again. So let's see. There was this this little game I saw. I bought on sale when it came out, called Escape from Duckov, which I assume is a parody of Escape from Tarkov. But it appears to be single player, unlike Tarkov, which is, you know, PvE. So I'd be interested in playing that. It seems kind of cute, and I think it could, you know, be sufficient for a stream or two. I could try playing this game, Necess. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I was looking up, you know, the reviews on Steam when it came out recently. Well, kind of recently. And one review was basically like, it said something along the lines of, what if Core Keeper was good? And I played a lot of Core Keeper, but I had my issues with it. So it's a kind of a glowing recommendation, at least for me. So I want to try that out at some point. I could play through Disco Elysium on stream. I feel like that might be the kind of game that I would be better off experiencing off stream. But I haven't played it, and I've been meaning to for a very long time. So it goes on the list. Let's see. There are a few other things that I have not tried that, you know, could go on here, but I think for now that's probably fine. In terms of games that I already play a lot of, obviously I've been playing Risk of Rain 2 a lot recently, but that's just because it got updated and I got sucked back into it, which is a thing that happens to me all the time. Every time a game that I've put a lot of time into gets a big update, it always pulls me back. It's like without fail. The same thing happened with Brotato recently. They got like a big content update, and I ended up playing a bunch of that. Also, I've been playing Path of Exile. I go on and off for Path of Exile. I feel like it might not be a very good stream game because it's both very overwhelming and very dull at the same time. You know, it's very repetitive, and in particular the way that I play. Well, I'm not much of a gamer, as I said. You know, you're not going to see, like, solo, hardcore, whatever, boss-killing record. Nothing like that. And I like leveling new characters in particular, which I think a lot of people don't really enjoy that much. So that makes me a little odd as well. But I do like the game a lot. I also hate some things about it, so that's how you know I've played too much of it. Similarly, other games in the same vein that I have played a lot of, Grim Dawn is really good. I think it has a little bit less long-term staying power than Path of Exile because it doesn't get as frequent content updates, but it's very good. And they're putting out a DLC this year, so I'll be coming back and playing that on stream almost for sure, if I am streaming regularly at that point. Not this year, next year. I thought it was 2026 already. And then also Last Epoch is that type of game as well. The top-down Diablo-style action RPG. I feel like the term RPG is kind of... it's a little broad these days. But I don't really know how to fix that, so whatever. So I play a lot of these. In particular, I've been playing a lot of Path of Exile, and then before I got sidetracked by Risk of Rain 2, I was doing that. Let's see. Some other stuff. I've played a lot of Terraria in the past. That might be something that I revisit on stream, especially if there's new stuff. You know, supposedly, eventually, update 1.4.6 or whatever is going to come out and have a bunch of stuff, but God knows when. You know, it's been cooking for years, and we don't have a release date. And they basically say, like, it could be any day now. But realistically, it probably won't be for, like, a year or something. So these are some of the things that I think I would lean towards doing. Oh, yeah, also, another thing, I get into periods of playing a lot of backpack battles as well. That's a little asynchronous multiplayer roguelike type thing. I like it a lot. It's kind of weird. I mentioned that I care a lot about aesthetics in games, but Backpack Battles is a game that I find kind of like, not ugly, but I dislike some things about the visuals, but the UI is really well done, and I think a lot of the game feel comes from having like a good and snappy UI with intuitive design, and in a way that might matter more than, you know, how it actually looks. I don't necessarily look for like high fidelity graphics or anything like that. You know, I don't really care about photorealism at all. In fact, I find it kind of boring. Oh, I should play Hylics at some point. I will put that on the list also. Hylics is a game that I have certainly heard of. I think... Yeah, I think, I mean, Hylics seems like it's stream-friendly, right? It should be. One of the issues I've been worried about, it's probably not even going to come up, but, you know, there are some games that are just, like, kind of gloomy and maybe, like, too, I guess, inappropriate for me to stream necessarily, but, I don't know. Yeah, I've heard the second one is not as appealing. It's probably still pretty good, if I had to guess, but I've never played either one, so who knows. Oh god, what was I talking about? I got lost. Oh yeah, game graphics. So, a lot of the games that I think look very good are things that are very stylized. I think... I mean, Risk of Rain 2, I think, looks great. There's some jank with models clipping through each other, and that's something I really dislike, but it's something I can put up with because the overall visual style of the game is very appealing. You know, I really like the look of Silksong and Hollow Knight. But, you know, realistic-looking games, I mean, Path of Exile is like pseudo-realistic graphics. In terms of the style, anyway. It's getting a little old and dated now. Oh, the visuals, yeah. I feel like the visuals of Hylics are like... that's the appeal, right? That's the big draw, because it's so recognizable. Like, nothing looks like Hylics. And apparently not even Hylics 2 looks like Hylics. There are a few games I feel like... Oh, also another one for this list, before I forget. Deltarune. So, I've played Chapter 1 of Deltarune, but it was a long time ago when it was released as Survey Program. And I remember some stuff, but I would probably want to replay Chapter 1, and then also I have never played any of the later chapters, and I've heard, you know, from what I've heard, I think it's gonna be something that I really, really like, because I love Undertale. Undertale is one of my favorite games of all time, and from what I've heard about Deltarune, I've had a lot of stuff spoiled for me already, but not details usually. From what I've heard, I think it's going to be something that I might enjoy even more, to be honest, just because of the, I guess, the themes of the story, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to get too far into it in case I'm wrong, because I haven't actually played beyond Chapter 1, but I want to try that probably on stream. I think for a while I was leaning towards not playing Deltarune on stream, just because it's like kind of a story game, you know, and that's something that I feel like maybe could be a little bit boring to watch on stream, but I don't know. It might also be a very like touching experience for me to play through and see it for the first time. So might do that. We'll see. It's on the list. And I think. Oh, I also wanted to mention, I have played fighting games in the past, such as Guilty Gear Strive and some others. I am off fighting games. I'm friendship ended with fighting games. They make me too nervous, and considering that streaming would also make me nervous, I feel like that would not be a good combination. And also, I suck ass at them. I'm so bad. Like, it's amazing how bad I am considering how much time I've put into them. Because I am unable to not panic when I'm playing online against someone else. But I don't think I'll be playing any fighting games on stream probably, but maybe if something comes up that I would feel would be appropriate. Okay, so that's most of what I wanted to get to. And I was thinking that for a little while I would maybe try out a game here and just see, you know, how it feels. Maybe like half an hour or something. So I guess I should probably do, well, I don't know, what should I play? Up until right this second, I am still undecided about what to do, even though I've been planning to include some, you know, some time with a game at some point. I'm going to turn the music off really quick, actually, just because I will be starting something up in a moment. I'm just really indecisive, you know, and I don't know. I guess I'll start up Risk of Rain 2. There are a couple unlocks, well, a few unlocks that I'm still going for, and I don't know. I think it's a good way to just see how I am feeling. And, you know, because I've been playing it a lot recently. I think, well, we'll see. I'm willing to try it out. So give me a bit and I will get that set up here. Just switch over to that. And then, oh, I also need to actually, now is a good time, I think. I am going to step away for a minute or two, because it's actually been an hour. I've just been rambling and getting sidetracked for 59 minutes, according to my stream timer. I guess I wasn't talking for the first few minutes, but I want to step away and get some water because my throat is starting to hurt, and you know, that's something that I need to be aware of because I'm not used to talking a lot, and I often end up kind of losing my voice when I have like a therapy appointment or anything like that. I start feeling the hints of losing my voice in my throat. So I'm gonna step away for a couple minutes, get a drink of water, and then I will be back. You know what I should have done is I should have made a BRB screen in the same vein as my my starting soon screen here. Hang on. Let me just go back to this, and I'm going to do it right now in paint.net. So let's see. Can I add this to OBS, actually? I can show my dog shit creative process here. Let me see. Paint.net. Wait. Not visible. Window capture. does this shit work? I'm still having trouble figuring out OBS here in some ways. Let me see. Ah, there we go. Okay. Paint.net. And do that. And can do this. Let's see. That, well, I guess I could just have it fill the whole screen. That's fine. Oh, God, am I really... Oh, it's the taskbar. That's why. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I was thinking, am I really streaming in a different resolution for my monitor? No, I am not. You can see the post still now. It's very important. Okay. Paint.net. Canvas size. This, and then let's see. I need like a color that doesn't hurt the eyes. I feel like a lot of people's stream assets are just kind of a lot. They can be, you know, tough on the eyes for sure. All right, text. Where are you? Here. Let's do like size 40, whatever. Yeah. Oh God, I'm typing in pink. B, right, back. Okay. That's fine for now. That's beautiful, isn't it? DRP screen. Oh yeah, I can probably, well, I can make a new scene for this actually. Let's see. Add source. Image. There we go. Screen, background. Stream assets. Great. Okay. And that's good enough for now. All right, and I will be back. I actually just thought I should probably put the music back on since I'm going to be away anyway. There you go. All right, now I will be back. Hello, I am back. God, I love the Transistor soundtrack so much. It's insanely good. Alright. It almost makes me regret needing to pause it to put something else on. I guess in the future I could just play whatever music. But again, I'm worried about copyright, and I don't know how that stuff works yet. There's a lot that hang on. There. There's a lot that I need to learn about. And I don't know how long it's going to take, but we'll see. All right, so I am going to make a new scene and then set up Risk of Rain 2 here. I guess I could have done this before coming back from my break, now that I think about it. That probably would have been the professional thing to do. But I'm not a professional, so doing it this way is fine. So it should be all black now. Yep. Okay, hopefully this isn't too loud. I did do a little bit of checking on the volume of stuff before starting the stream, but I actually don't know how game capture works. I think I'm just going to try using window capture here. We'll hope it works. R2. Window this. Ah! Oh yeah, because I'm tapped out probably. Does that work? No, it does not. Alright, well, hang on. Game capture. Specific window. Ah! It kind of works. It's probably not running properly because I'm tapped out, but... God, I would love to have a second monitor at times like this so that I could actually see if anything's being said in chat while I'm doing this. Okay, this looks good. And it should be muted also, because I have it mute on unfocus. There we go. And now it should be making noise. It might be a little loud, though. Oh. Yeah. All right. I could turn the volume down a little. That should still be audible. Oh God, I have so many windows open. My normal method of cycling through windows is that I just press Alt-Tab over and over until I get to the one that I want. But when you have like 10 windows open, it doesn't work so great. Okay, how's this look? Looks okay. Paint.net is updating in the background, by the way. There we go. Can I turn that system sound down? I don't know if I can. Oh, whatever. It's done for now, at least. Okay. So, earlier today, I was trying to do prismatic trial with mercenary to get this bullshit achievement that I still do not have. This thing is so insanely difficult. I don't know how. Apparently 10% of players, according to Steam, have this achievement. Like 10.8 or something. It's crazy. I get that it's like... So a prismatic trial, if you don't know, is... it's just like a daily run of Risk of Rain 2. Basically, it's... you know, everyone gets the same seed, and they're like kind of weird modifiers sometimes. And today's is awful for this challenge because it's Artifact of Honor, which is all enemies spawn as elites. So avoiding damage from them is insanely difficult. I imagine you just need to wait for a good prismatic trial seed. But yeah, for now it's Artifact of Honor and Artifact of Swarms. So there's like, even on stage 1, you end up with just a huge amount of insanely strong enemies walking around. And in exchange you get 50 gold, which is 1 chest. And elites also drop a lot of gold when you kill them, so it doesn't even really matter. But, alright. So I'm probably going to... What am I going to do about chat here, I wonder? Oh, you've never beaten a normal run. Well, this is going to be very weird for you then, because I've done almost everything in the game. Dude with the hammer. Oh, Mithrix, yeah. Mithrix is rough. I think they nerfed Mithrix like a couple times, because I recently fought him, and he did not one-shot me in Phase 3, which is when he takes away all your items. So I think they changed something. So I might not be able to look at chat, unfortunately. I could actually... What I could do is like pop out chat and then pin the window maybe, but I don't really know how to do that. Let's try this. Can I do like... Yeah, I don't know if I can make it always on top. I mean, I'm sure there is some way, but I don't know if I personally can do it. It's fine. I'll just check periodically. And also I want to turn off mute in background, just so that when I tab out to look at chat, it doesn't mute the game. That would be nice. So, I was trying for this, not getting it today. No shot. Actually, almost impossible. I've got some other things that I want to do. I think... Well, I have both of these Huntress challenges still to do. I usually either play on Drizzle or on Rainstorm or Monsoon, but with Artifact of Command enabled, which makes the game, you know, a lot easier. And often Artifact of Sacrifice as well. I feel like Sacrifice in particular is fun for me because it's like you can just kind of go to the next stage. Like, you don't need to worry about getting all of the item chests and stuff. You can just sort of go and fight enemies, and it's nice. I think it's... Well, it's not always better, of course, but... Anyway, I'm probably going to try Rainstorm. Just because I don't really know what else to pick. I don't really want to do the command sacrifice setup because it's like... It seems like it would be dull. Dull to watch, I mean. It can be a little dull to play, but usually I enjoy it. But it makes the game a lot easier and a lot more consistent as well, which is maybe like bad for watchability, honestly. Alright. Monster Tooth. It's going to be very difficult for me to actually talk about things while paying attention to a game. That is something that I am very worried about, but mainly I'll just be talking about stuff in the game, so I guess it shouldn't be too hard. That was a waste of a glaive, I think. It's not like it doesn't come back. I hope my voice is coming through okay here, by the way. I like to sit pretty far back in my chair, and as I said, my voice goes pretty quiet, just naturally. So I am worried about it not getting picked up, especially when I'm playing and I'm focusing on something else. I think I tend to speak more quietly, and I also more often lean back. Okay, let's see if there are some chests around. Oh, well, this will do. This is this was added with the this was added with the second most recent DLC, I think, Seekers of the Storm. And I didn't play that until recently as well, when I went back, you know, to play Alloyed Collective, which is the recent one. I think they're both, like, fine. I have my gripes, and I also have things that I think are cool. For the most part, I think, well, of the characters added by Seekers of the Storm, I think Seeker is really lame to play, because she has, like, a QTE ability, basically, and I hate that. You just have to, like, push directions like it's a rhythm game when you see it on the screen. But False Sun is actually really cool. He's one of my favorites now, I think. And then kind of similarly, actually, I think the characters from Alloyed Collective, there's Operator, who uses drones, and Chef. I don't know why I was blanking on his name. It's literally like the most straightforward name possible. I like both of them, but I like Chef a lot more, I think. I was having this issue with Chef where I feel like, well, I don't know. I feel like one of his utility skills is, like, you need it to move around the map quickly and, like, get anything done in a reasonable amount of time. But the other one is stronger for combat, so I find that kind of annoying. Oh god. I need to kill some stuff and get orbs. Oh. There we go. Obviously, this is a game that I've, like, put a lot of time into. Even though I don't consider myself super good at it, I am very familiar with how it works. So, one of the issues that I am, like, slightly concerned about is if I'm gonna stream a game like this, I'm, like, not gonna explain anything properly because I already know how it works. But whereas when something is new, I'd be learning, you know, along with the hypothetical viewer. Oh god. This thing does so much damage. And it knocks money out of you. Okay. Okay. Not close at all. Whew. All right, let's see. Luminous shot. Sure. I don't know. I don't think this item is that good on Huntress, but whatever. Luminous shot actually goes crazy for False Sun. That's one of the reasons that I ended up really liking the character. The cool stuff about False Sun is that, well, there's, I guess, a lot, but he's got some extra special scaling in his kit. He scales with bonus health from items, which I think is really cool. And in a lot of games, I like, you know, characters that get extra scaling from stuff. I find it very satisfying to just stack up the same stat. And, like, when I occasionally played League a little bit, I often would gravitate towards characters that, you know, are very scaling focused, but in particular have like some kind of additional scaling mechanic in their kit. Like Nasus with his siphoning strike. Because it's just fun to, like, you know, it's fun to become strong, I guess is what I'm saying. And I think False Sun in this game captures that very well, to a degree that a lot of other characters did not up to that point. I think, I don't think there are any other, like, really strong scaling characters. I only got one chest on the first stage, which is not ideal now that I think about it. I think you can get up to like 8 to 10 usually. Although I think more often only like 8 of them spawn and then you find 3 of them. But 1 is not ideal. So I feel like I might be a little weak right now, even with the bonus items from the Halcyon Shrine. Oh yeah, also, I have 47,000 lunar coins. I forgot about that. That's because of a bug that happened at some point. I don't know how to undo it, and it happened a long time ago. Usually you're only supposed to get like up to 10 lunar coins at a time when you do like the secret alternate boss, I guess, which is just like a scavenger. You have to like get the beads of fealty from the lunar shop and then also go obliterate at the obelisk. And when you do that and kill the special boss that shows up afterward, you get like 10 lunar coins. And that's the whole run's worth of lunar coins, basically. It can take like over an hour to get there. And, you know, I have not earned these 47,000. Let's just put it that way. You do get them occasionally from normal gameplay, but I don't know what exactly happened. I think, like, maybe there was some kind of loading error that caused the value to underflow to, like, 50,000 at some point, but I am technically, I think, in the red on lunar coins. I am losing them because I like to buy lunar items when they come up. And they're more of a sometimes purchase as intended. But I will not be running out anytime soon. I don't know if I'd be buying any lunar coins for this run, though. I feel like, lunar coins, lunar items. I think I'm not a fan of most of the lunar active items. Hellfire Tincture is sometimes cool, but it does damage to you, so I kind of don't want to use it on like a glass cannon character like Huntress. Oh god, I hate these things. Those rat monsters are so hard to hit with things that you actually have to aim. Luckily, Huntress does not have to aim. Oh, I pinged by accident. I have ping set to middle mouse. That's good. And my Steam name is still spelled with them, that's right. I might actually end up changing that, I don't know. Take antlers. I don't really like this item, but whatever. Apparently, I think this item was, like, Elusive Antlers was changed, like, very dramatically at some point. It used to be, like, a defensive item that reflected damage to enemies, and then they turned it into a movement item instead. And apparently, it might have been a little bit overpowered in its previous state, but I don't actually know that for sure because I didn't play. I'm surprised they would bother changing something like that, though, because there are a lot of items in this game that are just not very balanced. Or, you know, have weird edge cases where they become insanely powerful. And I feel like that's part of the appeal of a game like this. Is there anything I can scrap? Yeah, I'm gonna scrap this. This does nothing. I think, I might scrap the antlers. No, I'll keep them. Keep everything else. Oh, I forgot about Drifter, also in Alloyed Collective. Maybe Chef was from Seekers, I don't remember. I get them mixed up because, you know, I started playing once they were both in the game. So I can't really tell them apart very easily. But Drifter is really fun, actually. I really like her kit. She's very enjoyable to play, and because of the way that her alternate special ability, Tinker, works, I actually prefer to play her without Artifact of Command enabled, and she's the only character that is true for. Because she can, like, re-roll items and turn them into, like, small stat boosts if the item itself is not that useful. And I think that's really cool. But her default kit is kind of like, well, her default special skill is kind of boring. Not boring, it's, it doesn't cater to me. It is not what I like to take advantage of, usually. Where is this guy? One thing about this, I always forget what those stages are called. The green map. One thing about this map that I do not like is that bosses from teleporters often spawn above or below the teleporter like this, and it can make things a little wonky. Especially if you're playing someone with low mobility like Railgunner. Huntress doesn't really care, but for Railgunner, I mean, even like dropping down here is like you take fall damage and then you're vulnerable as well because you don't know where exactly enemies are down there. I was recently I was going for Railgunner's Monsoon Completion skin reward because I've gotten, I think, almost all of the other characters. I haven't gotten Chef's yet. I don't know, I usually, you know, use the, the artifacts to make it a little easier, but even with that, Railgunner on Monsoon is just miserable to play, because you have actually no area damage at all. I mean, you can one-shot bosses, but like 3 normal wisps will beat your ass forever. I think I should probably try and focus on killing the boss now. I got a little distracted. I was just like running around killing enemies. Let's do this. Oh boy. Oh, it's radar. My favorite item. And the only one that has no combat use whatsoever. think, where are you? There you are. That's right. Oh god, I'm gonna need a lot more ballistas to kill them, huh? This is one thing I actually really appreciate about Artifact of Sacrifice, because it makes enemies drop items instead of getting items from chests. It means that I don't really need to care about taking a long time to kill a boss, because the extra difficulty scaling from time increases enemy spawn rates, which effectively means that you get more items also. So if you do get stuck in a situation like this and it takes forever, you don't feel like you're missing out as much. Oh my god, I'm almost dead. Oh. Almost died to the rat. Oh boy. This one monster tooth necklace is like the only item I have that's doing something. I guess I do have the luminous shot, but the way luminous shot works is that when you use the right click ability on your character a certain number of times, you can you store up lightning that gets released when you hit something with left click, but the problem is that it scales with total hit damage of the hit that triggers it, and Huntress's Flurry does really low damage per hit. 100 is not quite as low as it goes, but it's awfully low. Ah! Oh, I deserve that one. I think I am going to have to figure out some kind of solution to view chat, because otherwise I'm just, like, totally in the dark about... Ah! about what's being said. Oh. Alright. Oh yeah, you don't have to be saying much. To be honest, I was kind of expecting to just be podcasting here. It's, you know, it's mainly about, like, whether I'm able to get used to it, and, I mean, in some ways it's easier without, like, specific prompts, right? Because I can just sort of talk about whatever. My throat is starting to get a little hoarse, though. I figured this would happen sooner or later. I think I will do... What else do I need to unlock? The Alloyed Collective skins look so weird. Oh god, I need to get smushed. This one is so... Oh, I don't even fully understand how this achievement works. Because the game has multiple final bosses, and you can keep going after you kill most of them. I think only Mithrix is, like, guaranteed to be the final boss. The other ones, False Sun and Soulless Construct, or whatever it is. I forget the name of it. The rogue AI thing, the final boss of Alloyed Collective. You can just, like, keep going after you beat both of those. But anyway, this is False Sun. Oh yeah, I need to unlock... Oh god, this one sucks too! Oh, I need to get his Monsoon completion, so I might do that now. I don't know if... I might go back to Lunar Spikes, because it works better with Luminous Shot. And then, like, do this. I like Artifact of Sacrifice. It's fun. Alright, I will probably not succeed in this run, but that's okay. I'm going to do this for a little bit, and then I will think about wrapping up. Oh, this is here. know if I like that. It's so far away from everything. Okay. I feel like Luminous Shot is basically just designed for False Sun, because Lunar Spikes is a skill you can use really fast, and also you can recharge it using your ult. And then his primary, the club, also does a huge amount of damage per hit if you charge it up. So it's just like, you can actually just one-shot bosses with like 1 or 2 luminous shots, and they scale really well when you stack them too. Well, not really well, they scale well, which in this game is not something to take for granted. There are a lot of items like Deathmark and Chrono Wobble that basically just do not stack their effects at all. Probably should have kept that lightning, honestly. This will be fine though. Oh, why are you down there? Where even are you? There. Alright. Oh my god. I didn't even charge up either. I don't know what white items to get. I guess just like crit chance, maybe. Oh, I need health. That's right. The sun has health scaling. I forgot. I do want move speed first, though. This is like night and day easier than Railgunner. Just having some kind of mobility and area damage. I mean, False Sun is also just like strong in my opinion. Like he has high damage output at baseline, but I was trying with Railgunner for like literally like 2 hours, and I never got a run that went to stage 3. It's pretty rough. And then, depending on how you actually try to win, you know, if you do a final boss instead of like just going to stage 8 and obliterating with no boss fight, it's having no mobility and low speed from Railgunner hurts even more there. I actually I have had a run with Railgunner that got to the False Sun boss fight, but like in that one in particular, you need so much movement speed to just even like avoid getting hit at all, much less doing damage to the boss. It's a little rough. It's a little rough. Even on low difficulties, False Sun can be kind of hard, I think. And it is confusing because the boss is named the exact same thing as the playable character. It feels so satisfying to get the lightning to just take chunks out of something. feel like Luminous Shot is like not good on most other characters though, because they either have long cooldown secondary skills or really low damage primary, and both of those are important for this item. I think maybe, well, I was thinking Railgunner could actually use it with the second secondary, the quickscope thing, whatever it's called. The one that doesn't have like a reload after it, because you can shoot pretty fast, but Railgunner's primary only does 100 damage, whereas False Sun does 1,000. Or 450 if you don't charge it. Let's see if we can delete this boss. Oh, why are you? I got a fucking airborne one. No, no, never mind. It's fine. No big deal. Ugh, not late there. You can like completely dodge those lasers by just dashing at the right time, but getting the right time consistently is a little tough. I don't know. I actually, I was trying out False Sun's alternative secondary earlier, because I just unlocked it, I think yesterday, and it's extremely cool, but the synergy with Luminous Shot is a little worse, so for a run where I'm actually like trying hard, I would rather have this. Get another one of these. And then switch to getting HP probably. I could use a Monster Tooth necklace actually, because I need healing based on max HP. Is there something behind me? Yes. Oh, I was able to interact with this. There we go. Okay. I gotta take this because it has HP and regen on it. Okay. I assume you might be able to hear the game audio, like quickly stopping and starting. Ooh, virtual portal. Take that. The game audio stopping and starting whenever I alt-tab. But, you know, not much I can do about that, I suppose, until I, come back! Until I find some kind of solution for making chat visible. Stage 3 Void Seed. I've noticed on a lot of my monsoon runs that often there's a Void Seed in Stage 2 or 3, and it just doesn't have any Void chests in it, so it's just like a waste of time even going in. This one does have one though, which is nice. Hopefully I can get Weeping Fungus from it, which will help a lot with healing. Oh, it's wisps. Just leaving. Oh. Nice miss. Okay. Dealing with void-powered up wisps is actually a pain because of the block and how hard they are to hit normally. One monster. Where are you? Oh, I see. There you are. Take the necklace. God, stop spawning. Let me pick up the items, please. Okay, what do we got? Fungus. I really like the corruption mechanic for transforming items in theory. I feel like a lot of the items that it's used for are just not like super interesting, I guess, but what do I want to do here? In particular, the bustling fungus thing, where you can corrupt it with weeping fungus and make it so that it works while sprinting, is so much better, and characters other than Engineer can actually use the item now, which is incredible. Because regular bustling fungus is, I watched a video where someone mentioned it by name and they called it Bungus. I can't think of it any other way. But regular bustling fungus on Engineer is like ridiculous. But no other character uses it well at all. I believe the lightning on the wrong target. One thing I don't really love about False Sun is that the charge attack, the controls for it are a little weird. You have to hold left click and then press right click. And it doesn't work the other way around. It is satisfying, though. I think I might get some crit. I feel like the safe bet is stacking HP, though, especially since I have the fungus now, because that's percent health healing while sprinting. And if I get more speed as well, I'll just be able to like run away from bosses and stuff, and they won't even be able to hurt me. Not meaningfully, anyway. But eventually, I don't know. So I don't really need these when I have Luminous Shot, I guess. Oh, I should have taken a Sail Star, because I'm going to stage 4, and there's a... yeah, Conduit Canyon has a guaranteed legendary chest, just like the other stage 4s. The Seekers of the Storm stage 4, the promised whatever, the area where you fight False Sun boss, does not have a guaranteed legendary chest, unlike the other stage 4s, for some reason. And also it's the only boss that you fight on stage 4 instead of stage 5. So that probably contributes a lot to me feeling like he's harder than the others. But I still think of Mithrix as being like insanely difficult, even though the only time I've fought him recently I won. I just avoid fighting him. Oh god, I hate these things. They're so hard to hit with anything that doesn't track. Is there a combat shrine over here? Oop. Let's see one. It's a Shrine of Order. I have lost at least one run to absent-mindedly activating a Shrine of Order and just losing a combo and dying as a result. Missed. There we go. I would really like to have a double jump for these things, I guess. Ooh, I'm getting a little overwhelmed with enemies here. I really hit none of them with that? Oh my god. Please. Okay. I finally hit something. Maybe I should get a chrono bauble and just slow these things down a little. I wonder if I left click and then like get the club hitbox active. I think it stays active for a little while because melee attacks usually do that in this game. I might be able to dash with the hitbox active and like project it forward. It doesn't look like it's working though. Oh god. There we go. Finally, a moment of peace. Okay, I'll get a Sail Star. I guess I'll just keep getting HP from these. Seems like a safe bet. Oh my god, please. Oh, where's the chest? I figured I would lose this run within like 10 minutes, by the way. Yeah. Oh, that didn't even look like an enemy. A little close. I keep running out of space. There's so many. Oh. Okay. I think I got down to like 8 HP. So, it's a little spooky. Wow, I'm surprised he didn't die. It'd be nice if you could do the big charge AoE in the air so that you could actually like fight these things. But I guess because it's a slam, it makes sense that it doesn't work. These things are so fucking annoying. Alright, that's enough of these keys. I do think it's funny that when you have command active... Oh my god. Wow. I don't even know what to do with this. Random legendary drop. I guess the difficulty scaling in Monster is really fast, so it's not as weird as it seems, but it seems pretty damn weird to me. Oh my god, don't die. I think doing the dash resets the animation of the melee attack, unfortunately. Mercenary can do this weird thing where he can do like the third strike in his 3-strike combo, which stays active for a really long time, and then he can dash during it. Alright, I need to stop fighting these things and just leave. Sure, whatever. If he does a dash during it, the hitbox just follows him, so he can just sweep it through a bunch of enemies, and it's very satisfying to do. I actually didn't know about it until a few days ago. Where's the... Oh yeah, it's over here. Oh my god, they're following me all the way. I think it's over here. There we go. Yep, there we are. Thankfully, it can only ever spawn on one spot in this map. Why did you follow me down here? I just realized these enemies do not normally come down here. I've never had an issue with being attacked in this room. Because usually their AI just doesn't, like, find a way in. But I guess because they were following me off to the side, they might have, oh god. Please. They might have just happened to be in the right position. There we go. Oh, I forgot you've got 2 reds. Oh my god. I think I want Clover and ICBM. And then I can pick up an ATG missile for my next green drop, and I can start one-shotting more things. Shouldn't have gone down here. That one I've already gotten. Oh, the left one is the one I haven't done. You know, this key mechanic sure seemed a lot more interesting the first dozen times I did it. Especially since you have to do it twice per area. And I think Conduit Canyon is literally the only area where these come from. Difficulty's getting kind of high. There we go. I'm away from the enemies now. That's nice. I think, do I already have enough keys? I do. I don't even need to interact. I can use one down here, and then I have the 3 for the boss teleporter. And then I have one for the decryption thing. Oh, God. I did not mean to press shift. I don't go in here. I wasn't even sure that you could walk on these. It's kind of interesting, actually. This. You. And then the boss. Oh, I thought the... Ah, there it is. You have to do some damage to it first. Okay. For the first few times I came to this zone, I actually didn't know that the boss gets automatically killed by another boss after a few seconds, because I would just one-shot it every time. Oh god, my items. I'm gonna have to waste it. Oh, you lose the luminous shot stacks when the disruptors hit you. I guess that makes sense, because you're losing the item temporarily, but that sucks. Because they can hit you very easily. Oh boy. I guess in some ways this run is strong, but it does not have great multi-targeting ability. Oh my god. This thing is really causing a problem for me. Well, looking like I might lose the run right here, which would probably be... I don't want to say for the best, but I feel like actually finishing this encounter might take longer than I would like. Oh. Oh yeah, I also had, oh, there you go. Oh yeah. I completely forgot what I had. It's so weird to get that many legendaries this early. I also wanted to talk about how my voice sounds, actually, because today, for like the first time in a while, I actually listened to... Oh my god, please come down. I listened to recordings of my voice, and I was expecting to hate it, and while I do dislike it, it actually sounds not bad, to be honest. I feel like it's kind of an interesting voice, you know? There we go. Just take a goat off, whatever. Oh, I should have paid more attention to what item I picked up there. I got the shitty one, the Genesis loot. I guess I have been getting to low HP a lot. Usually I don't like Genesis loot because its effect triggers on low HP, but only if you survive. It doesn't, like, protect you or anything. And usually I find when I die in this game, it's because I got killed in one hit. Not literally one hit, there is protection against that, but not much. I don't know if I can do this faster by doing this. It's probably not much faster. Ooh. Okay. The lightning got eaten by the big part. That's not great. I don't know if I'm going to be able to reliably trigger the lightning on this. Yeah. Well, that means this is going to take a while, too. Phone alarm going off. Oh, I've been going for over 2 hours. Wow. I guess the second hour was just playing Risk of Rain 2, but still, that's longer than I expected to go. I figured I would be like super worn out by now. And if I had been talking the whole time, I probably would be. Did not prepare to dodge this. I have high sprint speed though, so I can just run away from it, I guess. Usually you have to go up here and like ride this ring. Or the other one, I guess. I feel like I probably should not be standing on top of the boss's head. It's maybe not a great idea for my survival. Oh god. The laser is so bad to look at. I feel like that's the only really bad thing about this boss fight is just like, when it shoots the laser, it's just absolutely miserable to watch. I can't imagine, like, photosensitive people having a very good time with this. It does not need to be this big. What are these? I've like never seen these enemies before. This music is pretty sick though. Yes! Alright. I finally got the lightning to actually strike what I was aiming at. Oh, I'm gonna die. Pay attention. Pay attention and do the boss fight gimmick. Oh! That is rough on the eyes. Oh, I forgot. Whole time talking about the boss fight gimmicks. I almost died to the sun aura. Alright, this should do it, I think. Oh. Brother. Okay. Ah! Never had that happen before. I had no idea. Wow. You can actually just fall on top of you while dying. I've never... I've killed that boss like 20 times. And I've never been under him when he died. Alright, well, that's a good stopping point. That one went much longer than I expected it to. Wungus, my beloved. Alright, so, that was my first time streaming. How do I feel about it? I have this issue a lot of the time where I don't really know how I feel about something until after I give it a lot of time and think about it for a while. I think it went pretty well. I felt like I was relaxing a little bit towards the end, maybe, but still definitely nervous. I feel like I'm always going to be a little bit nervous on stream, just because, you know, that's the nature of the beast, I suppose. It wasn't too hard for me to do, though. And I felt pretty comfortable, like, talking about the game as well, which is nice. I feel like... Well, one thing I was very worried about, obviously, was that I wouldn't be able to, you know, make a complete sentence while doing things. Such as playing a hard video game. But I feel like it went pretty well. And I didn't feel like I was super pressured to talk the whole time during, the game section either. I mean, I didn't feel like I was pressured to talk the whole time at all, because it was, I went into it with the mindset of like, this is my stream for me. So I don't really care that much about, whatever I feel obligated to do. But I'm glad I made it to stream. I was very nervous beforehand, also during, but especially last night I was like really bad. Today I was nervous, but last night I was like worried. Like legitimately I felt like something was going to go horribly wrong. And usually that is usually when I get like worried about one specific thing, like a deadline or whatever, that is what happens, but it doesn't work that way for my normal nervousness, which is just like kind of agitation, I guess. So it went fine. I think, well, I'm going to try again. I'm going to do another stream at some point. Maybe, what's today's date? Today is November 29th, 4:23 p.m. I kind of want to have a widget or something on my my stream like overlay stuff that displays the local time. I know that it's like, you can look at the clock, but it would be nice to show people like what time zone I'm in and stuff like that. Okay, I think, yeah, I think I'm basically wrapped up here. I don't think there was anything else that I wanted to touch on. Thanks for watching, if you watched. Hopefully, if everything went as I set it up, OBS should have also locally recorded this stream, so maybe I can put it somewhere. I don't know where. Maybe I'll start a YouTube VODs channel. I don't know. Maybe I'll just hang on to it. I don't know. I am like... I say I watch streamers, but honestly, I'm more of a VOD watcher, really. I watch full VODs all the time. More so than live streams a lot of the time, but there are some streamers where it's like, you really don't get the full experience when you aren't watching live. And I think in particular, like, for people who record audio in multiple tracks, when they upload VODs without, like, music, I mean, they have to, right, because of, it would get taken down otherwise, because they play copyrighted music, but, when they take out the music for the VOD, it's just like, it feels kind of empty sometimes. Usually it's not a problem, but often there will be like, someone will react to it, or like chat will be talking about it, which is not the full context. You miss out on some of the experience. But when I watch a stream live, I feel obligated to talk in chat sometimes, which is not always what I'm in the mood to do. Sometimes I am. Sometimes I really enjoy it. I don't know. Anyway, I got distracted. Oh, my uptime was 2:22:22. I just looked at it. Okay, I might upload this as a VOD. I think, I mean, I don't know how discoverable it would be. I actually, I found Crelly's stream through like a VOD upload on like an unofficial channel. It was like a lightly edited VOD. So, I mean, who knows? But, as I said, I don't even necessarily want to get really big anyway, because that would be overwhelming. I feel conflicted about like the idea of success as a streamer, but realistically it's not likely to happen, so that makes the decision a lot easier. Okay, So, I could try raiding someone. I have never done it before. Let's see. Ooh, a whole whopping 3 viewers. That's actually one more than I expected to be the peak. Great. I think one of them is like logged out or a bot or whatever, but that's fine. Yeah, I might skip the raid. I feel like, I don't know if any other streamers feel this way, but personally, I worry about raiding with like a small number of people because it's, you know, it's a little distracting, and I don't want it to come off as attention-seeking behavior. But wait, Germa's live. Maybe I can raid Germa 985, huh? Probably wouldn't. Yeah, it probably wouldn't cause any inconvenience for anyone that way. All right, let's do that. So I'm going to raid Germa, and thank you for watching. What's this Discord alert? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Thank you for, I guess, just perceiving my stream. I mean, I'm mostly, oh my god, you can tell I'm getting tired because my tongue starts tripping over itself. I mostly did it for me, of course, but I appreciate it. Yeah, I do, I don't know, like, I feel weird calling someone by their Twitch username when I, like, talk to them, for real. But, anyway, for anyone who doesn't have context, Lark73 is someone I know. So, I do think that, the end of the gameplay segment was, like, quieter, but I feel like when you have a game where a lot is happening, I think that's kind of inevitable. I do need to keep an eye on the volume as well. Because, as I said, my voice gets quiet and I move really far away from the mic. And it's especially a problem because I'm so fidgety that I move around constantly. But anyway, I need to stop talking. I decide to end the stream and then I've still been talking for like 3 minutes. Alright, whatever. I guess I'll skip the raid because my only viewer is me now, which is fine. Alright, well, thank you. And I will, I'll be streaming again, I think. See how it goes. Alright, goodbye. Bye. Goodbye. Where's the stop streaming button? Here it is.